Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Gloves on Film. I'm your host, Christina. Guys, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe my videos so you can see more of me and my commentary. And yeah, I got a chance to review the Netflix original movie, Uncorked. Now, if you haven't got a chance to check out the film, you may want to click out this video because I'm about to give a really quick recap. Grab your wine glasses and meet me back right here. Cheers. So by now, you checked out the title of this video. If you haven't seen the film is about a young man who upsets his father because he chooses to pursue his own dreams instead of following the family business, which is like a barbecue business. Let's take a sip of wine before we get into this. It's a lot to unpack. Now for me, I enjoyed this movie so much because I was so happy that the character wanted to be something else other than a rapper or a producer. People of color were so multifaceted, and I feel like a lot of times a lot of scripts don't give us the range that we need to really showcase all the grand and amazing things that we're doing and that we do in our everyday lives. And it's such a, oh my god, it was such a great thing to see that this gentleman in the movie wanted to be a sommelier. Now listen, this is the first time I ever heard this word, so if I mispronounce it a couple times during this review, I do apologize. And for those people who don't know what a sommelier is, I'll insert the description here. Alright guys, there was so much to unpack with this film. Mostly just about someone following their dreams and having that nagging person, whether it's a parent or it's a friend that may try to rain on your parade. Now in the film, there was always a struggle between the mother and the father, and the mother was always supportive, always lending a hand, always being very uplifting, which we usually see in a lot of family dynamics. Now we usually see, especially someone having a family business, there are a lot of people who get sucked into it because it's expected of you, you know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, I laid this groundwork, I did all this work for you, why don't you come and join me in our family business and let's continue and let's do this. But a lot of times, a lot of our wants and dreams and desires don't match up with our families. And I'm definitely one of those people who none of my things ever matched up for the ideal thing that a parent would have wanted their kids to do. So in the film, you know, the dad was just very negative. And you know, the dad referenced, well, hey, once before you wanted to be a DJ, and then you wanted to be you know, this and that. And I think that it really played a role in the tug of war of confidence that the young man had. So I thought that was a very good lesson for people to learn, that you have to be very careful of the way that we're speaking over and into our children, and because it does affect their self-confidence, and it could be this deciding factor whether or not they choose to pursue something or not.
Message.
And I love Niecy Nash as the mom. Oh man, she had such an amazing contribution to this film. She really was an extremely supporting piece that we needed to see the character bloom. One thing I thought that was a really cool touch was in the beginning of the film, we have the young man, of course he's working in a wine store, and a young lady comes in who literally turns into his girlfriend, and she's talking about a wine, and he's like, yeah, what's the occasion for the wine? And she's like, occasion, you know, because some people really just don't think too far into drinking. We just think, hey, I want a red or a white, I want it sweet or I want it dry, but we don't really go into any of those other things. And so I thought it was really cool that he said it or arranged it in a way that she could understand, which was, he related it to like, oh, you know, the Chardonnays or the Jay-Z's, and you know, the Moscatos or the Drakes. I thought that was pretty cool because again, sommelier, I'm gonna get this right. This is the first time I've ever heard it. I didn't even know. And it's pretty cool that also in the movie, they also talk about just how difficult the test is to take it, which is true. I did fact check. Blame my Virgo moon. I did fact check. And yes, it does take a very long time to go and get certified in this type of thing, which is more or less just a fancier word to saying wine connoisseur. Those are people that let you know the breakdowns, is what region it's from, what notes are you smelling, what kind of woods, you know, all those little details that gives you such a refined taste in your wine. And I never, you know, even thought about those different type of things. And even when I looked it up, yo, the salary for that is pretty fat. Like, it's pretty fat to do that type of thing. There was no backhanded twists and turns, which I was happy. I was so happy. I didn't want anything. I wanted this character to succeed, and I wanted him to follow through. In a lot of these films, I do notice that sometimes the plight could be pretty sad sometimes. And in the film, his mother had previously had lung cancer. His mother ended up going back to the doctor to check and see if her cancer was still in remission. And unfortunately, she got some devastating news. And during this time, the character was away at school in Paris. Now, I always notice how, and I hate to say it, a lot of African American films, we're perceived as being able to persevere through the worst of things. And it looks good. I'm not saying it in a negative light, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean it in a negative way. But I mean, I knew something was going to come that was meant to deter his path. It's just the stigma that is in a lot of African American films. You know, it's always something of such great magnitude that comes along that can deter us. Now, it doesn't stop us. It's meant to deter. And so, yes, his mom passes away from cancer, and he was doing so well. Just to go back a little bit, yeah, his father was not very supportive. So throughout the movie, his father would say little things. His father would let him know that, hey, if you're supposed to be splitting your time between your winery job and here at the barbecue shop, you don't have time to go to school. And so it just was a very, very, very constant negative stop. And so after the mom passed, you know, the father really had no choice but to, you know, mend the relationship. And I don't think it was up until after the mom's passing, sadly, that the dad started to really see, like, oh my God, my son really does enjoy this, and he's actually pretty damn good. There's a scene that they go to the bar and they have a drink a couple weeks after the mother passes, and they're sitting there, and the dad orders his his drink or whatever, and then the son is ordering his. But as he's speaking to the bartender, they're literally going back and forth. Oh, is it dry? Is it sweet? And well, how does it taste? And is it rich? Is it robust? And the father is pretty intrigued, like, oh my God, my son is actually pretty amazing doing this. And I started to see, like, wow, at that very moment, the father's mind started to turn and say, dang, I might have been an asshole here. Like, I might have been an asshole. Like, he actually may have really found something that he really loves. Now, although, you know, at the end of everything, but unfortunately, the character did not pass his test, but that's okay. And I love the fact that even at the end of the movie, when they showed him going in and, you know, speaking to the test coordinator, and if it's a key thing to notice too, as the coordinator speaking to him about his testing and letting him know about what he got wrong and what he could have done better, his hearing starts to go out slowly but surely. And that lets me know that most of the time when that happens, someone's telling you something that you really just want to zone out. You really don't want to hear it. So I knew at that moment that, of course, he probably didn't pass. And yeah, he was sulking. He was sulking, and he felt pretty crappy, you know, as anyone would feel if you were so hyped up about something. I don't care how much anybody tells you, oh, it's so hard, X amount of numbers only pass. It doesn't matter. We possess the type of confidence within ourselves to where we still have that level of thinking like, hey, well, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. But one thing I thought was very commendable was at the end of the film, it showed him back day one in the school again, making an effort to move forward and learn everything again. And as he's sitting in class, everything that he learned is coming to him. And it lets me know, like, no matter what, listen, this is something that I want. I'm going to work hard. Yeah, it took a year, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm back. I'm better than ever. And I'm strong. I mean, it's so many good things to take away from this film as both being, you know, the student or the young man, and his mission that he played in learning and just being more confident and allowing things that he knew that he loved and had a passion for. And although people are looking like, well, how could you make money off of knowing different wines? Listen, it's a pretty penny, because even when I looked it up, I was surprised. So I thought that was so amazing and such an amazing lesson to teach a lot of young people, young, old, older, and let people know that it's never too late and it's not too hard. And even if you have, you know, you always have that good angel and that bad angel, and it doesn't matter if you hear certain things positive and certain things negative. If that's what you want, there is always a lane for you at any age. It is never too late to do anything. It is never too late to start anything. And it is never too late to pursue something that makes you happy, something you do every day. You know what I mean? Something that brings you a joy when no one else is around. That is true happiness. That's how you do it. I love this film. Now, this is one of the films that I really, really recommend for any age. There's so many gems that pop out in this movie. And of course, you get to see people of color in a different light. You know, there's no gangbanging, there's no drugs, there's nothing dark clouded about this movie, and I so thoroughly appreciate it. I wish I knew the director's name. I'll look it up. I'll drop his name in the description box. I really appreciate you. Thank you for directing a film like this. We needed it. You know what I mean? We need more of this type of thing. And guys, if you haven't checked it out, please check it out on Netflix, guys. It's called Uncorked. It came out this year. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Until next time, peace.